Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Make America Lit, back with another NBA 2K23 video. And in today's video, I got another episode of NBA Rare Builds for you guys. And as you can see on your screen, in today's episode, we're going to be recreating Trailblazers legend Brandon Roy. Now, Brandon Roy is a very special player because he's actually missing from NBA 2K23, which is why I wanted to recreate him and give him his own build in NBA 2K23. He's actually been missing from the game, for quite some time now. I don't think 2K has the right to his rights or whatever like that to his player likeness and stuff like that, so I don't think they can put him in the game no longer unless he agrees to, like, I guess whatever they're going to pay him. But I had to go back and do a little research to find, like, first I had to find what his highest rating was, which his highest rating in the NBA 2K game was back in 2010-2011. For 2K11, he had an 88 overall rating, but then I found out, as I dug a little bit more, I found out that he was actually in 2K more recently than 2K11. He was actually on the all-time Blazers roster in NBA 2K19, so that's where I took his stats and ratings from, the 2K19 all-time Blazers roster, which he was rated a 91 overall. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see his badges. I was only able to see what his ratings were, and his ratings were as follows. Now keep in mind, this is 2K19, so the ratings are a little bit different, and I'll tell you guys how I ended up pulling his ratings for these things or whatever. But he had a 93 close shot, 95 open mid-range, a 94 contested mid-range, 94 off-dribble mid-range, 87 open 3, contested and off-dribble. All of his 3 ratings were 87. He had an 85 free throw, 93 standing layup with a 93 driving layup, 75 standing dunk with a 95 driving dunk, and an 80 contact dunk. He had an 86 ball handle, an 80 pass accuracy, and a 68 post control, with a 35 offensive rebound and a 60 defensive rebound. He had a 69 steal, a 60 block, a 80 lateral quickness, which, I just transferred that into perimeter defense, 92 speed, a 90 speed with ball, a 92 acceleration, a 96 vert, 68 strength, and a 98 stamina. Now, because of, him being such a unique player, it was damn near impossible for us to get all of those stats to those levels. So, I kind of tweaked the build as much as I could to kind of lend to it being Brandon Roy. In my opinion, you could probably tweak this build a little bit more just to get closer to his stats. In my opinion, you can, and I'll go over those tweaks that you can make if you do want to make them. Also, how I got his mid-range was I just got the average. I just added up his mid-range and just, divided by however many stats he had, to get the average of 94, 87, obviously would be 87 because they're all 87. Same thing with his layup, obviously 93. And then, I added his driving dunk with his contact dunk to get, 87 and a half, or 87 for his driving dunk. And then for, his lateral quickness, I just put his lateral quickness as perimeter defense, a 80 or whatever, because I don't think 2K19 had perimeter defense. It was just called lateral quickness, how much you can stay in front of your man. So I just swapped his lateral quickness for his perimeter defense, and that was pretty much how I got his ratings for this build. So, let's just jump into it. He wears the number 7, obviously, played shooting guard, 6'6", 215 pounds with a 6'8" wingspan. Body shape I went with was between defined and compact, but I finally settled on just going compact, if it matters to you guys. And these are the stats that I finished with. 73 close shot, a 93 driving layup, an 84 driving dunk with a 75 standing dunk. You can go up to an 87 if you want, but I just felt like Brandon Roy was a really good driver. He could finish at the rim, but I don't think he really needed an 87 driving dunk because he never was really like dunking on people like that. Like how, an Aaron Gordon or like a Vince Carter, he was never really a dunker like that. He could dunk in traffic and he could dunk around people and even dunk on people, but I just don't think he was like consistently dunking on people from what I remember watching him. he was more of like a mid-range shooter and stuff like that. He was more of like a Kobe Bryant type of player, and that's why I liked him so much as a player, bro, because he was just this stone-faced assassin that, he had the same face whether he had 40 points or 15 points. You couldn't tell he was having a good game because he had the same look on his face. It didn't matter. 20, 15, 40, you know what I mean? It didn't matter. It was all the same to him, as long as he was winning. And that's why I liked him so much as a player. You know what I'm saying? Now, unfortunately, couldn't really root for him because, I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan and he plays in the West, with the Trailblazers. But, I did really appreciate him as a player. But I'm ranting. Let's move on. Gave him an 81 mid-range because he did play in the mid-range a lot, just like Kobe Bryant. His three, I went with 86 instead of an 87, but I feel like this three, you actually can move his three down some. You probably could go down to an 85 if you want. I probably wouldn't go anything lower than 85 just because you want to have Silver Limitless range to space the floor, and you're gonna need that 85 mid range. So if you want, you can go down to an 85 3 and then put like the points wherever else you want to put it. But my recommendation is to at least have an 85 for the three. You don't want to dip below anything lower than that. Of course, his mid-range was a 94, and I really wanted to have that 94 mid-range because that's like, his bread and butter. That's like how, DeMar DeRozan's mid-range is his bread and butter, That's where he made his chicken from, you know what I'm saying? But I went with an 81 just because I wanted to get other aspects of his game. If I went with a 94 mid-range and an 80-something 3, I would have not been able to, get all of these other aspects of his game down. So, I kind of made the sacrifice on the mid-range, unfortunately. You can flip-flop, though. You can bring the 3 down some and then put the mid-range up some. But the thing about that is that you want to have Silver Limitless range at least so you can space the floor. So that's why I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend that you guys just keep it this way. But if you want to stay more true to Brandon Roy's true build and his play style, you would drop the 3 and then put up the mid-range. You know what I'm saying? Even though he could shoot the 3 as well too, but the mid-range is where he really made his living. We do have his 80 pass accuracy, which is what he had, as well as his 86 ball control, which is called ball handle now. We don't got the speed with ball, but that's okay. On this channel, we don't really focus on speed with ball or acceleration just because we're usually going to be rocking quick first step, and quick first step can be, substituted for a high speed with ball. Now, having both will benefit you more because you will be quicker with the ball, obviously. But if you don't care, if you want to put your points elsewhere so your build is more balanced, you can take that speed with ball from a 90 or a 95 or an 80, bring it down to a 50, and then just throw on quick first step and still be just as fast with quick first step on gold or Hall of Fame and still beat people off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually what I do with my build. You're gonna have to choose either way. Either you're gonna sacrifice those attribute points and have a high speed with ball and not have as much playmaking points, but you won't need to run quick first step at a high level. You could get away with bronze or silver quick first step, or you could sacrifice those playmaking points and put on 5 points for quick first step and then put those attribute points somewhere else, like on defense or shooting or finishing. But again, on this channel, we don't really, mess with speed with ball or acceleration like that. We sacrifice that so that we can get other, attributes up or whatever like that. So moving on, we do got his 80 perimeter defense. We do got his 69 steal, which is going to be very good. We're going to have silver challenger. We're going to have bronze clamps. We're going to have bronze glove and an interceptor, so we're going to be able to play some really good defense on the perimeter. You see that gold menace and that silver pick dodger, as well as gold ankle braces and workhorse. We're going to be able to play some decent defense, well, not defense, but good defense on the perimeter, especially that 6'6", decent wingspan and height. Weight, we're going to be able to, play some good defense on that perimeter. We were able to get his 60 defensive rebound, but if you want, you could take his rebound down and instead put it into that 60 block that he has, which will probably be a little bit better. That's the last tweak that I will make to this build. The shooting tweak and then swapping defensive rebound for his block. But me personally, I like being able to rebound, and 60 defensive rebound ain't really shit. It's kind of trash, but you will be able to grab some boards at 6'6". So that's why I opted for the defensive rebound. Yeah, sure. At a 60 block, you'll unlock, chase down artists on like what? You'll unlock chase down artists on silver, but without anchor at 70, you're not going to really be blocking shots like that. You really need anchor this year. So that's another reason why I didn't go for block. I opted to get the rebound because I know with a 60 defensive rebound, I can still get boards, you know what I'm saying? Especially at 6'6". But at 6'6" with silver chase down, you're still not going to get really many blocks, And then moving on to his physicals, we didn't get his 90 speed, but we did get that 83 speed, which it's not as good, but it's not too bad. We didn't get his 68 strength either, but I did get close to his 93 vertical. I got a 90 vert and then a 90 stamina, which is close to his 93 vertical and his 98 stamina. As long as you have at least a 90 stamina, you're not going to really tell a difference. 90 stamina is more than enough than you need to play, adequately in the rec, and all I play is rec, so, just the 90 stamina is more than enough. And then, close to that 93 vertical or 90, probably very negligent. You couldn't even tell the difference, most likely. And then we still got the 84 drive and dunk. That's going to help us with getting those contact dunks, as well as getting those rebounds, because we're going to have a 60 rebound with a 90 vert, so we will be able to snag boards and stuff like that. Final badge count, we're looking at 19 finishing, 22 shooting, 15 playmaking, and 9 defensive. Not counting the 2 badge points we'll get for hitting 40 in the season, as well as the +4 from Sam's Quest, as well as the +5 from playing flashback games. This is going to be a very good build. You could put those points into playmaking and defense, which is what I'll probably do because I have more than enough shooting on this build, more than enough finishing. Those extra badge points would definitely go into playmaking and defense, making this such a well-rounded build, And then we look at the takeover. You have your choice between slashing, shot creating, spot up, and lock take. So you pretty much have your choice. You can pretty much have everything. The only thing you won't have is playmaking takeover. You pretty much have every single thing that you could possibly want. You know what I'm saying? Slash and take, shot, spot up, lock. You know what I'm saying? Pick your poison. Me personally, I would go with shot creating slasher because that lends to more to Brandon Roy's playstyle. But you could also go with spot up and slash and take. You know what I'm saying? Either or is really up to you. And then when we create our build, you'll see that we created a balanced offensive guard, which pretty much defines Brandon Roy as a player because he was a very balanced offensive player. So there you have it. That is my Brandon Roy build for NBA 2K23. It's been your boy Make America Lit. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K23 content, badge breakdowns, and of course, rare builds just like this one. I'm out, guys. Peace.